ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Dear friends, in the last class we just started the first mantra. That is the first mantra. It talks about 6 rishis, 6 young rishis, let us say. Young rishis. They went to a senior rishi. They went to a senior rishi named Pippalada. Pippalada, as I said, we do not know the historicity and all that of Pippalada, but he was a Brahmagyani, a person who had realized Brahman. These 6 students, they were also highly disciplined people. They also had done some tapas. They also knew something about the Vedas. They knew Brahmaparaha, Brahmanishtaha, it said. So they knew Brahma, there are 2 meanings. Brahma also means Veda. Brahma also means Vedam. So they knew all the rituals. They knew all the Apara Brahma, they said. Apara Brahma, that word also we saw in that mantra. They knew this Apara Brahma. Apara Brahma means the lower level of reality they knew, but the higher level of Brahman they did not know. So that is what we saw. And then Vaidarbhihi Vidarbhe Bhava. We were reading the commentary of Shankaracharya on that. So in the last class we stopped at this line. Bhargavo Bhrugor Gotrapatyam Bhargavaha Vaidarbhihi Vidarbhe Bhavaha. Vidarbheshu Bhavaha, your book says. Okay. Well, let us start. Kabandhi Namataha Katyasya Apatyam Katyayanaha Vidyamanah Prapitamaho Yasya Saha Yuva Pratyayaha. This is a small grammar he is explaining. Kabandhi Katyayanaha. Kabandhi is the name of the young man. Kabandhi is the name of the young man. Katyayanaha. Katyayana is Katyasya Apatyam Katyaha. Katyasya Apatyam Katyaha. That itself is good enough. There is another Ayanaha. Ayana, some other Pratyaya is also joining. So that is called a Yuva Pratyaya. Yuva Pratyaya means it refers to somebody, a young man, whose grandfather also is still alive. Whose great-grandfather in fact. Katyasya Apatyam Katyayanaha Vidyamanaha Prapitamaho Yasya Saha. So Prapitamaha api Vidyamanaha. Prapitamaha api Jivati. Even now, Jivanneva asti Prapitamaha. Prapitamaha means great-grandfather. Pita is father. Pitamaha is father, grandfather. Prapitamaha is great-grandfather. So Vidyamanaha means itopi Jivanneva vartate iti. Even now he is living. So Vidyamanaha Prapitamaha Yasya Saha. One whose grandfather is still alive. So that is Pratyaya. It is called Yuva Pratyaya. So then, ye haite brahmaparaha, not ye, te haite brahmaparaha, aparam brahma paratvena gataha, tad anusthana nishthascha, anishthascha brahmanishtaha, param brahma anveshamanaha. Okay. So these people, te ha ete, te haite, te ha means it seems that, it seems. So when you relate a story, it seems he did like this, it seems he said like this, so we say like that. So that is te ha ete, these people, brahmaparaha. The meaning of brahmaparaha is aparam brahma brahmatvena paratvena gataha. So they have taken this apara brahma, the inferior brahma or the lower level of brahma, as the supreme brahma. So here we have to see what is Apara Brahma and Parabrahma. Because you have already heard Mundakopanishad and other Upanishads, you will be knowing. But somebody who is a newcomer, he will not be knowing what is Apara Brahma and what is Parabrahma. So for that, let us go to one fundamental shloka, which I keep repeating. That is, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So if you see the first line says Gurur Brahma. So the Guru, this shloka is basically to praise the Guru, saying that the Guru is Brahma, Guru is Vishnu, Guru is Maheshwara. This is the trinity we have, the three people who are in charge of Srishti, Sthiti and Laya. That is creation, sustenance and dissolution. So these three things. So and then Guru Brahma, that is creator, Guru Vishnu, the sustainer, Guru, what is this? Guru Devo Maheshwara. Maheshwara symbolizes the Laya. Laya means resolution or dissolution. Then Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. So Guru is also the Supreme Brahma, it says. So both lines they have got this word Brahma. What is the difference between first Brahma and this Brahma? The first Brahma is at a lower level, that is the creator level. So in the whole creation there are three functions. In the whole cosmos if we see, there are three functions. Everything, things are getting created every day, and then things sustain, they are sustained for some time, they again resolve back. So similarly the whole universe also is created, it is there for some time, the whole universe also is resolved back. So this aspect of creation is called Brahma. This aspect of creation, we are giving a name called Brahma. It is not as though there is a person called Brahma. It is not as though what all personification we have done is only a personification. That's all. It is only a personification. It is not as though a person is there. A person with four heads. Brahma normally we take it as somebody, a person with four heads. Usually a white beard. All four heads having white beard. And beside him is that Saraswati, a very, very young lady, young woman. So that is how we think of. So anyway, so these four heads, they symbolize the four Vedas. From his mouth are said to have, these Vedas are said to have sprung from his mouth, or rather from his breath. Yasya Nishvasitam eva tad Vedaha, Rigvedaha, etc. So Nishvasitam, as a sort of, when he breathed out the four Vedas. So that is what it says. So anyway, that personification is there. So similarly, the whole world is sustained because of some power, and that power of sustenance is called Vishnu. And again, this whole universe is getting resolved back into the Avyakruta, the unmanifest. So that power of resolution is called Shiva. So that is how we have done. So Apara Brahma is that lower level Brahma, not necessarily the creator. For all these Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, again all three put together, there is only one. That is the cosmic subtle body. That cosmic subtle body is called Hiranyagarbha, isn't it? That cosmic subtle body is called that Hiranyagarbha. The whole cosmos, if you visualize as one organic entity, in that organic entity, for that organic entity, if you see the whole Sthula Sharira, that is the gross body, is the whole cosmos, the whole physical cosmos. That again is having that intelligence, it is pervaded by intelligence. So this cosmic subtle body, which is having that intelligence also, is called Hiranyagarbha. And in that Hiranyagarbha you visualize all these various deities. And this Hiranyagarbha himself is lower when compared to the Supreme Brahma. So Hiranyagarbha himself or itself, because Hiranyagarbha is not a man, it is not as though he is having a man with a beard, moustache, etc. It is just a personification. Hiranyagarbha is a personification. So this concept of Hiranyagarbha, or whatever is that cosmic subtle body, that itself is an evolute. It is something which has evolved from what? From that Brahman only, supreme reality. And what is that supreme reality? That supreme reality is what of course this particular Upanishad does not describe. In fact, Upanishads like Taittiriya Upanishad, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, it defines what is that Brahman. That supreme reality is something which is Satyam. Satyam means which is beyond time. This concept of time itself is something which is an evolution from that. Satya, it is something beyond Trikala Badhyam. It cannot be negated in past, present and future. It is beyond time. And it is not as though it is some Jada Padartha. Jada means something which is insentient. It is also Jnana Swarupa. It is said Satyam Jnanam. And then it is not something which is confined to a particular place. It is something which is Anantam. It is all pervading. There is no end to that. If you talk about the expanding universe, the concept of Brahman says, yes, however much the universe may expand, Brahman, what we conceive, what we thought of, or what we defined as Brahman, is something which is of the nature of pure consciousness existing everywhere. You talk about expanding universe and whatnot, even then, the Brahma is something in which all these things are happening. It is infinite. Infinite means there is no end to that. There is absolutely no end to that. So that is how we have defined that supreme reality. And in that supreme reality, which is called consciousness, what is it we are seeing? All this universe, all the, the human beings, and then various animals, and then creation, all that we are seeing, some stars, galaxies, planets, and all these things. What is it we are seeing? All this is something, it is called a manifestation in that supreme consciousness because of the expressive power or creative power called Maya. So when that supreme Brahman is associated with this Maya, that creative power emerges. And then that creative power is called Prakriti or Maya or Avyakta. Avyakta means unmanifest state. From that unmanifest state, this manifest state comes into existence. This manifest state means this Hiranyagarbha and then say all these 5 elements, Prithvi, Apas, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, etc. They all come into existence. So at the level of a creator, you are, simply speaking, at the level, to explain very, very simply, at the level of this, say, the management of the world, let us say, at the level of management of the world, including Srushti, Sthiti and Laya, we have got a concept called Hiranyagarbha. We have got a personification called Hiranyagarbha. That is at the lower level. But at the higher reality is, that supreme reality is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That is, say, infinitely existing consciousness is the supreme reality. So that is what is Parabrahma, that is supreme reality. Para means supreme, higher. Apara means lower. Na plus para, not para is apara. So that is what we have to, the first differentiation between Apara Brahma and Parabrahma, we have to, Parabrahma is higher, Apara Brahma is lower. So that is one thing which we have to see. It is not as though there are 2 Brahmas. There is only one entity called consciousness, supreme consciousness. In that, this is a manifestation. And this Hiranyagarbha, otherwise called Prajapati also, it is something, there is a personification for a particular creation, for a particular, say, cycle of creation, let us say. After that cycle is over, there is another Prajapati, that is, it means another Hiranyagarbha. So, infinite number of, any number of, say, cycles of creation. So, in fact, if you read a book like Yoga Vasishta, it talks about infinite number of cycles of infinite number of creations, so many cycles of creation. So like that, this is something, our concept of time is so vast. Our the Vedic rishis, their concept of time is so vast. It is not in terms of hundreds of years or thousands of years or billions of years, billions and billions of years. So it goes like that. And the Srushti also, the Srushti means the creation. It is not a one-time creation. It goes on endlessly. Srushti, Sthiti, Laya, they go on endlessly. So here, coming to these people, te haite brahmaparaha aparam brahma paratvena gataha. That means they knew this apara brahma as the parabrahma. They knew means they thought, like you go to a temple, you see some small figure there, you think that is the Supreme Lord. So that it is like that. You go to a small temple, you say Venkateshwara is the Lord of the whole universe. You can visualize Lord Venkateshwara as the Lord of the whole universe. There is nothing wrong for the purpose of Upasana. But if you say that Venkateshwara is the only Lord for the whole universe, then you are in conflict with somebody who says some Jehovah is the only Lord, somebody who says Allah is the only Lord. You are in conflict. So, because Venkateshwara also has got certain features like say protecting his say servants, protecting his followers, punishing his opponents, etc. Similarly, Allah also has the same say function, that is protecting his followers and punishing his opponents. So similarly, Jehovah also will be having something. So you are in conflict with that. But Vedanta is not like that. Vedanta does not define the supreme reality as something which is limited, something which has got a limited function, something which is a saguna. Saguna means which is having certain attributes like say reward the good, punish the bad, Shishta Rakshana, Dushta Shikshana, as we say. Dushta Shikshana, Shishta Rakshana, punishing the bad and rewarding the good. So such functions, they are not there in Brahman. They are not there in the supreme reality because it is of the nature of pure consciousness. In that thing, you are visualizing another functional entity called Hiranyagarbha, which is the lower level of Brahma, otherwise called Apara Brahma. So these people, Apara Brahma Paratvena Gataha, they were thinking this Apara Brahma to be the supreme Brahma. So that is what it is. Then Tada Anusthana Nishtascha, and they were also doing Anusthana, they were also doing Upasana. Anusthana means following it. Then the Stha Dhatu, Stha means to stay, that is following it. That is, they were performing rituals, they were performing Upasana of that Apara Brahma, Nishtascha Brahmanishtaha. Then Param Brahma Anveshamanaha, they were also looking, they also have some idea that there is something beyond this. They have an idea that Apara Brahma is not the ultimate thing. There is something called Parabrahma. There is something beyond this. So they know that much. Parabrahma Anveshamanaha. Anveshamanaha means those who are in search of that supreme reality. Then let us read. Kim tat yan nityam vigneyam iti tat praptyartham yatha kamam yatishyamaha ityevam tad anveshanam kurvantah tad adhigamaya yesha havai tat sarvam vakshyati iti acharyam upajagmuhu. So they all came to this teacher, Acharyam Upajagmuhu. They all went to the teacher. How? Kim tat? What is that Parabrahma? Yat Nityam. That which is Nityam, that which is eternal. Eternal means that which is beyond time. So past, present and future, in fact this concept of time itself is an origin in that Maya. Is an origin from that Maya only. Maya Kalpita Deshakala Kalana, says Shankaracharya in Dakshinamurti Stotra. So like that, this Nityam, that supreme reality is something which is eternal, which is beyond time. Then Vigneyam, that is something to be known. It is not something to be seen or felt or something like that. It is something to understand intellectually and then become it. Once you understand it, you are that. You realize that you are not different from that. So that is what is Vigneyam. So Vedanta uses two terms called Jnaya Brahma and Upasya Brahma. Jnaya Brahma is that supreme reality. Jnaya means something to be known, something to be realized. So Jnaya Brahma is something to be realized. What is it? That is that supreme reality. What is it you are realizing? You are realizing that your essential self is not different from that. So that is the realization. Then there is another thing called Upasya Brahma. Jnaya Brahma and Upasya Brahma. Upasya means where you worshipped Brahma, and something known Brahma. Known means to be known Brahma. Knowable or not knowable, to be known, let us say. So this Upasya Brahma, where you worship in a sense of duality. Okay, I am God's servant, God is there, I am worshipping the God for some benefit. So we have got so many prayers, so many requests to be presented to the God. So that is the Upasya Brahma. So here, Yan Nityam Vigneyam, this is something which has to be known. Iti Tat Praptyartham, in order to attain it, in order to know it, Tat Praptyartham, Yatha Kamam Yatishyamaha. Yatha Kamam means Yatha Shakti. Let us try our best. Yatha Kamam. Let us try our best. Yatishyamaha. Yatishyamaha means let us make effort. Prayatishyamaha. Prayatna, you know the word Prayatna. Prayatishyamaha. That is, let us make an effort. Ityevam. So in that manner, Tad Anveshanam Kurvantaha. In search of that, moving in search of that. Tad Anveshanam Kurvantaha means moving in search of that. Tad Adhigamaya, in order to know that, in order to realize it. Adhigama means knowing. Adhigama, knowing. Tad Adhigamaya. Then, Yesha Havai Tat Sarvam Vakshyati. So they identified this person. Yesha Havai, this person, indeed, Havai, is indeed, he is the person who is going to tell us all. Tat Sarvam is all that Vakshyati, he is going to tell us all. Iti Acharyam Upajagmuhu, they came to this teacher. Then how? Katham Teha Samitpanayaha Samit Bharagruhita Hastas Santaha Bhagavantam Pujavantam Pippaladam Acharyam
Uppaladam Acharyam
Upasannaha upajagmuhu.
Upasannaha Upajagmuhu.
Okay. So they it seems, it seems, Samit Panayaha, they came with Samit in their hands. Pani means hand. Samit Panayaha means in their hands they carried all this Samidha. Samidha means, I told you yesterday, Samidha, it can mean an ordinary kusha grass. It can also mean firewood. It can also mean Samidha, literally speaking, whatever is given into the fire, that is that Samidha. Literally speaking, some firewood which is used for that, and also kusha grass. But here, by extension of meaning, we can also take something which is some sort of gifts to the teacher, some provisions for the teacher, some material for the teacher, whatever it is. Gruhita hastas santaha, carrying all that. Bhagavantam pujavantam. Bhagavantam means highly respectable, venerable, a very venerable man. Pippaladam acharyam upasannaha. They came to that teacher. Let us read the second mantra. Tan sa rushiruvacha bhuyayeva tapasa brahmacharyena shraddhaya samvatsaram samvatsyatha yatha kamam prashnan pruchyata yadi vijñāsyāmaha sarvam havo vakshyama iti. Okay. Tan means those Rushin. Tan is, it seems. Sa means saha Rushihi. That Rushi. Who is that? That Pipalada. Tan, to them, he said like that. What did he say? Uvacha. He said, Bhuya Yeva. Again. Bhuya Yeva. Again. Bhuya Yeva, that Yeva Shabda also implies you already know. You already know something. But still, again, you are already trained. But still the training is not enough. It is something like a commando training. Your ordinary training is not enough. Some special commando, special force training is needed here. So, Bhuya Yeva Tapasa Brahmacharyena Shraddhaya. Tapa is say austerities, self-control, Atma Sanyama, what we see in the 6th chapter of Gita. The whole 6th chapter of Gita is a wonderful, the whole chapter is a wonderful chapter talking about the self-control, various say ways, various means about how that self-control, Atma Sanyama has to be practiced. So Tapasa, Brahmacharyena. Brahmacharya is two types. One is Brahmani Charati iti Brahmachari, that is normal meaning. That is somebody who is very sincerely devoted to the knowledge of Brahman. Brahmacharyena also means sexual abstinence. Brahmacharyena is sexual abstinence, not thinking of say any relations, and then totally dedicated to say this Brahma. That is Brahmacharya. Then Shraddhaya. Shraddha is something which is very essential for say Brahma Jnana. Shraddha involves two components. That is, there is an implicit faith in what the teacher is going to say. So this is something like a say something where the result you have to trust the teacher. If you don't trust the teacher, you will not get it. If you trust the teacher, you will get it. So that is the type of thing. It is not faith. It is not blind faith. It is something which is a trust, seeing the nature of that guru, seeing that he is a Brahmagyani. So you feel or you realize that you can trust him totally. So that is that trust and reverence. Trust and reverence. Astikya buddhya. Shraddha is something Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddha. Vishwasa. You have got a trust. So that is what is Shraddha. Not as though, okay, this man is saying something and then you keep on doubting him. That is not Shraddha. So maybe the teacher said, okay, you stay for some time. Let me see whether you are devoted or not, whether you have that Shraddha or not. So let me see. So in fact, as I was saying, Swami Akhandananda Saraswati says, Jnanam is something like a VIP. You see, if you are doing karma, okay, you can do karma. If you are doing some upasana, you can start doing upasana. You can do some other bhakti, you can do bhakti. But all these things have to refine you. They have to refine you. It is only in a refined mind where you have already got Nischalatvam and Nirmalatvam, you have got purity of mind and you have got that concentration, focus, everything. It is only then, like a VIP, a very important person, the Jnanam comes. Jnanam doesn't come just like that. There is a lot of prior arrangements. You have to make the ground clean. You have to make the ground neat. That is what is called, what is that, sadhana chatushtaya. You have got sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. One should have that sadhana chatushtaya. Nitya nitya vastu viveka, then iha mutra phalabhoga viraga, then again what is that, shamadhi shatka sampattihi, mumukshutvam. All those things one should have. So it is only then that jnana comes. So that is why Akhandananda says, it is like a VIP. So, Shraddhaya, Samvatsaram Samvatsyata. For a period of 1 year, you stay like that. Samvatsyata. Samvatsyata means you all stay like that. Then, Yatha Kamam Prashnan Pruchhata. Yatha Kamam, as you like. Then, after coming, you shoot whatever questions you want. Prashnan Pruchhata. Yadi Vijñāsyamaha. If I know that. Yadi Vijñāsyamaha. If we know. Vijñāsyamaha is using a we, but plural for himself. Yadi Vijñāsyamaha, if we know that, then Sarvamha O Vakshyama. All that we are going to tell you. We means I. Vaha, to you, Vakshyama. We are going to say. Iti. So let us see the Bhashyam. Tan evam upagatan ha sa kila rushi ruvacha bhuyah punareva यद्यपि यूयं पूर्वं तपस्विन एव तपसा इंद्रिय संयमेन तथापि इह विशेषतः ब्रह्मचर्येण श्रद्धया च आस्तिक्य बुद्ध्या आदरवन्तः संवत्सरं कालं संवत्स्यथा सम्यग् गुरु शुश्रूषा परास्सन्तः वत्स्यथा. Okay. Tan, to them. Tan evam upagatan. So those to them who have come in this manner. Ha, it seems, sa, that ha kila, sa kila. Sa, who is this sa? Pipalada. Saha kila, Rushihi uvacha. Rushi said like this. Bhuyaha means again, punareva. Eva, that Eva Shabda he is explaining. Yadyapi yuyam purvam tapasvinaha. Though, Yadyapi means though, even though, yuyam, you, purvam tapasvina eva, you are already tapasvinaha. You have been, say, in this path of austerities. Eva, tapasa, indriya sanyamena, you have been doing austerities, you are having that self-control, regulation and all that. Tathapi. So even then, tathapi, iha, here, visheshataha. Visheshataha means specially, exclusively. There is some special course, as I said. Visheshataha brahmacharyena, with that sense of brahmacharya. Then shraddhaya cha astikya buddhya. This astikya buddhi is another term. Astikya buddhi means asti iti buddhi. Yes, there is something. You are not going to doubt. You are not doubting the existence of the supreme reality. Nor are you doubting the presence, say, ability of the teacher. That Pippalada is a great teacher here. So they should not doubt. So, astikya buddhya cha adaravantaha. Adara means respect. Having people having respect. That is, having respect for this. Samvatsaram kalam vatsyatha. So, you stay for 1 year. Then, samyak guru shushrusha parasantaha. You do guru shushrusha. Shushrusha is a term. Normally, shushrusha means, the literal meaning of shushrusha means shrotum ichha shushrusha. That is sanpathya. Shrotum ichha shushrusha. That is desire to listen is shushrusha. But rudhyartha, the normal mean, the actual rudhyartha is shushrusha means service to the teacher. Shushrusha parasantaha, doing service to the teacher, you stay here. Then thereafter, yatha kamam, tato yatha kamam, yo yasya kamaha tam anatikramya, anatikrम्य यथा कामं यद्विषये यस्य जिज्ञासा तद्विषयान् प्रश्नान् पृच्छता. So then tatah means thereafter yatha kamam. He is explaining the word yatha kamam. Yo yasya kamaha tam anatikramya. That is yatha kamam. Kamam anatikramya. That means as per your desire. As per your desire. You yadvishaye yasya jignasa. Whatever desire is there for whatever person he is, yadvishaye, whatever subject in which you are interested, whatever be the topic in which you are interested, yasya jignasa, your jignasa means desire to know. Whatever is your desire, whatever jignasa you have in that subject, tad vishayan prashnan, the questions relating to that, tad vishayan, questions relating to that, pruchhata, you ask. Then yadi tad yushmad prushtam vignasyamah
यदि तत् युष्मत् पृष्ठं विज्ञास्यामः
anuddhatatva pradarshanaartho yadi shabdah
अनुद्धतत्वप्रदर्शनार्थो यदि शब्दः
na ajnana samshayarthah
न अज्ञानसंशयार्थः
prashna nirnayad avasiyate
प्रश्ननिर्णयादपठीयते
sarvam ha vo vah prushtam vakshyama iti.
सर्वं अवो वः पृष्ठं वक्ष्याम इति.
Okay, after that you ask questions. Yadi tad yushmat prushtam vignasyamah, if we know whatever you are asking, if we know the reply, if we know the reply for whatever questions you are going to pose, then I will tell you. Whatever yadi vignasyamah, in case I know, yadi vignasyamah means in case I know, in case we know rather, we will tell. So this again Shankaracharya is pointing out that it is not as though Uppalada is not sure about his own knowledge. Uppalada is very much sure, but then anuddha tattva pradarshanartham, uddha tattva means haughty, not haughty temperament, what is it? Say highly learned looks. Some people they put on highly learned looks. So that is uddhata. Uddhata, the exact word for uddhata is dambha is slightly different. Dambha is some pretentiousness. It is not here pretentiousness. Dambha is dharma dhvajitvam, that is pretentiousness. Uddha tattva is pride rather. Pride in one's knowledge. Yeah, pride in one's knowledge is a better thing. So uddha tattvam is that pride in whatever you have. You may be dhanodhata. You are a very wealthy man. You are very proud about your wealth. Then you are having a lot of, you are a highly well-read man, you are very proud of your knowledge, you are most beautiful person, you are very proud of your beauty. So like that, uddha tattvam. So that is uddha tattvam. Here, anuddha tattva pradarshanaartham, only to show that, to show his humility. The opposite of humility is that uddha tattvam, that pride. So in order to show that humility only, that yadi shabda is used, not because of any suspicion or doubt about his own ajnanam. No, ajnana samshayartha. It is not indicative of any ajnanam, not doubting. Then, prashna nirnayad avasiyate. So, we are going to see that prashna nirnayad, the way he answers his questions, prashna nirnayad, the way he is giving replies to all the questions, avasiyate, it is going to become clear later. Later, it is going to become clear that this man is not ignorant. This man is fully answering their questions. Then sarvam havo, wo means vaha, prushtam vakshyama. Whatever is asked by you, I am going to say. Then they go. Likewise, these are basically sincere students. Then they stay like that for 1 year. And then at the end of 1 year, this gentleman Kabandhi Katyayana, he comes back and asks. Let us read. अथ कबंधी कात्यायन उपेत्य पप्रच्छ भगवन् कुतो ह वा इमाः प्रजाः प्रजायन्त इति. Okay. Atha, then thereafter, Kabandhi Katyayana. We have seen this Kabandhi Katyayana. In fact, he is the 6th man. So the 6th man in that list, there were 6 names, isn't it? The 6th man in the list is asking the first question. So I don't know, the questions are in the reverse order, in the sense, the first man is putting the last question, the last man is putting the first question. So anyway, Kabandhi Katyayana upetya. Upetya means having come close, come near. That means that at the end of 1 year, papracha. Papracha means he asked, pruchhati. Then Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan, O Lord, kuto hava imaha prajaha prajayante. Kutaha. Kutaha means from where or for what reason. Kasmat. It can mean 2 things. Kutaha means from where. What is the source? Kasmat. What for? For what reason? Ahava, indeed, these things. Imah prajaha, all these beings. Praja does not mean our prajalu. Prajaswamyamu, prajalu, we refer to only human beings. It is not human beings alone. All the beings, starting from an ant to a dinosaur, let us say. So, imah prajaha prajayante iti. So, where do they all come from? Why? What for? What is the cause? So, both meanings you can take for kutaha. Kutaha means both from where and also kasmat, for what reason. So, then he is going to explain. Atha samvatsarad urdhvam kabandhi katyayanaha upetya upagamya papracha prashtavan. So, atha means after 1 year, atha thereafter. Thereafter means what? Samvatsarad urdhvam, after 1 year. Kabandhi katyayanaha, we have seen this gentleman. Upetya, upagamya, having come to the teacher. Papracha means prashtavan, he asked the teacher. He Bhagavan, let us read. Kutaha kasmadva imah brahmanadya prajaha prajayante utpadyante aparavidya karmanoho samuchitayoho yat karyam ya gatihi tad vaktavyamiti tadarthaha ayam prashnaha. Okay. So he asked this question. Hey Bhagavan, O Lord, kutaha, kasmadva, from where or for what reason? Imah prajaha, all these people, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, etc., Brahmanadyaha, starting from Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, all types of things. Prajaha, prajayante, utpadyante, how these people originate. Then, why this question is put? What is the purpose? In fact, these people came to know about Parabrahma, the Supreme Brahma, that Supreme Brahma which is called Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Instead of directly asking that, why did they ask this? So the Shankaracharya is just explaining. Once you know this Apara Brahma, once you know the Apara Brahma means this lower level of Brahma, and the results obtained from the worship of this Apara Brahma, and what are the results obtained from the worship of this Apara Brahma? There are two types of results. One is Pitruyana and one is Devayana. That is, one is going to Swarga, a place called Swarga, a heavenly place, and then staying there for some time and then coming back. And then Devayana, you go to another loka called Brahma Loka. From there, there is a Krama Mukti. There is in a phased manner, a gradual Mukti is there, but that also is not certain. It's not very certain. Then again, he may come back also. We do not know. So, like that, there are two paths which are not permanent, which are limited in nature, which compared to that supreme moksha, that supreme thing called liberation, supreme thing called realization of Brahman or Brahma Jnanam, compared to that, these are lower. So once you know that what all you are going to get, suppose there are two bosses. So one boss can only give you some little bit of say benefit. Another boss is going to give you higher benefit. Then whom will you prefer? You will go to a higher boss. So like that. So this boss, after all, he is going to give us only a small benefit. There is a higher boss who is giving us the highest benefit. So that is the point here. So then, what will happen to this man? You get dejected with this man. I don't want this gentleman. So that is virakti. So here, vairagya pradarshanaartham. So you get virakti from this thing and then you go to a higher thing. So that is what Shankaracharya is explaining. Aparavidya karmanoho samuchitayoho. Of this aparavidya and karma. Aparavidya means this is upasana. We are referring to upasana. You can note down aparavidya does not mean any other vidya. Vidya usually refers to Brahmajnana, isn't it? Aparavidya is upasana. That is worship. And then karma. Aparavidya and karma. Karma means ritual. Rituals which are mentioned in the Vedas. That is all this yajna, etc. Karmanoho samuchitayoho. Samuchaya. You know the word samuchaya. Samuchaya is a combination. This samuchaya we see in Ishavasya Upanishad. Vidyancha vidyancha yastadvedo bhayagam saha. There is a mantra. That is 12th mantra, 11th mantra. Yeah, I think 12th mantra. I'm not sure. 12th or 11th. Vidyancha vidyancha yastadvedo bhayagam saha. That is from the Ishavasya Upanishad. That is a samuchaya, a combination of these two. A person who merely does rituals, he goes to Swargaloka. That is what the Vedanta, the texts say. That is, a person who is basically interested in rituals, a person who performs yajnas, etc. Along with that, he does upasana. That is, he also has a god, he worships God, there is a divine entity, the element of entity, the divinity also is there. So he does upasana of the divine thing. So that gives a higher result. What is that higher result? That is what is called Devayana, the path of the gods. So otherwise it was called the Pitruyana, the path of the forefathers. So this is Aparavidya Karmano Samuchitayoho Yat Karyam, whatever is the fruit, whatever is the result, Ya Gatihi means whatever is that Gati. Gati means Marga. So Tad Vaktavyam, that has to be told. Iti. Why should it be told? That is, in order to get for the purpose of Vairagya. Shankaracharya has not mentioned it, but Anandagiri has mentioned it. Anandagiri writes, I will read what Anandagiri writes. Yadyapi idamapi parabrahma jignasa vasare asangatameva. Though this particular point is not very connected, asangatam. There is no sangati, there is no connection, asangatameva. Tathapi kevala karma karyat samuchita karma karyacha virattasyaiva tatra adhikaraha iti. In order to tell that kevala karma karyam is swargam, then samuchita karma karya is brahmaloka prapti. When compared to that, from them you have to get virakti. Oh, it is only this much. Once you know you are only getting a paltry amount, you will not bother for that. A paltry salary, let us say, you will not bother. So like that, oh, okay, it is only this much. Once you know that, then you will get vairagya. I am not interested. So you will go for a higher thing. So viraktasyaiva tatra adhikaraha. In that brahmagyane adhikaraha iti. Tato vairagyartham idam uchyate. So he says vairagyartham. In order to instill, in order to create some sense of vairagya in these people. Oh, whatever we do, okay, you do some yajna, you go to Saurgaloka and come back. You do some yajna and upasana, you go to some other loka. But that is not mukti. They are all lower results. So then, in that way, you will develop vairagya for these things. Iha amutra phalabhoga viragaha. The same thing. Iha is here. Amutra means there. Phalabhoga viragaha. You get vairagya. Oh, all said and done, it is only this much. I don't want this. I want eternal liberation from this cycle of birth and death. So that is what is moksha. So tadarthaha ayam prashnaha. For that reason, this prashna has been put. Then the teacher, what is the teacher going to say? Tasmai sahovacha praja kamo vai prajapatihi satapo tapyata satapas taptva samithunam utpadayate rayincha pranancha ityetau iti, let us say, iti etau me bahudha praja karishyata iti. Okay. Tasmai means to that gentleman. Which gentleman? To Kabandhi Katyayana. Sa ha uvacha. Sa pipaladaha. Ha, it seems, uvacha. It seems he said like this. What did he say? Praja kamo vai prajapatihi. This Prajapati again we have to understand. This Prajapati is not different from that Hiranyagarbha. Prajapati. Prajanam patihi. The Lord of all beings. The creator of all beings. So we are referring to the same Hiranyagarbha. I explained to you, the Shuddha Brahma, Shuddha Chaitanyam is there. Shuddha Chaitanyam is the supreme reality. In that supreme reality, that when that expressive power or creative power called Maya is associated, then the first evolute is that the thing called the Maya Chinnam Chaitanyam. From that, the first evolute is this Hiranyagarbha only. And in that Hiranyagarbha only, which is the cosmic subtle body, you visualize all these God forms, isn't it? So this Prajakama, we are referring to that Hiranyagarbha. So who is, from where the whole things have come out. All these five elements and all these things have come out. Sa tapaha tapyata. So it seems he did tapas. That means here what is the meaning of tapas? So he contemplated as to what should be the overall structure of the whole universe. What should be the structure. Then sa tapas taptva, having done this tapas, then he became sa mithunam utpadayate. He created a mithunam. Mithunam means a pair, husband and wife pair. A husband and wife pair he created. What is this husband and wife? Not the human beings. That is food and energy. Food and eater. Energy and matter. There is energy, there is prana, and then there is food or rai, as he is going to call it. So there are two principles. One principle is the eater, the other principle is the eaten. One is the eater, the other is the eaten. One is the consumer, the other is the consumer. One is the energy, the other is matter. So the whole universe, this is a vision, this is the whole universe. You see, it is not as though he has created a man and a woman. There are basically two principles in the whole universe. The principles are, you are eating, you are also getting eaten. In fact, Taittiriya Upanishad says, Adyate atticha bhutani. So all the beings, atti, bhutani atti, adyatecha, adyate atticha bhutani. It is eaten and it is bhutani atti, it also eats. So the so-called eater and the eaten, they also get exchanged. We are going to see that. It is not as though they are two strict entities like that. The eater becomes the eaten becomes the eater. So like that, there is a principle of interdependence in the whole universe. Everything is depending on everything else. So this principle of interdependence is one point which we have to note. This is actually a meditation which has been told here, that meditation on this idea of interdependence in the whole universe. That the small being called a human being, whatever being, is not different from that universe. He is the eater, he is also the eaten. So that is the point. Sa tapastattva sa mithunam utpadayate. Mithunam means a pair. Utpadayate means he created. What is that? Rayincha pranancha iti. Rai means, Rai literally means, there are two meanings for this word Rai. Rai means wealth. Raiman means rich man. Raiman is rich man. Then Rai also means food. Food, water. If you see the dictionary, Rai also means food. So Rayincha, that is something to eat. Whatever is experienced, or whatever is bhojyam, whatever is eaten. So that is the meaning of there is a very wide meaning for that word Rai. Then Pranamcha. Pranamcha he created. Pranam means the eater, the vital force, the vital energy. The pranam is that vital energy, vital force he created. Iti, etau means these two. Etau, dvivachana, me bahudha praja karishyata. Karishyata is karishyatah. This is a dual number. Me, for me, bahudha praja karishyatah. In multiple ways, bahudha, in several ways, in multifarious ways. Praja karishyata. Praja means not merely human beings. From amoeba to dinosaur, let us say, from amoeba to dinosaur, karishyata means these two will create. Iti. So he thought like that, and then he created these two principles. It is not as though there is a person called God. It is not as though there is a person who has created a man like this and a woman like this and then all animals like this. It is not. Our books, they talk about a sort of evolution. There are basically two principles in the whole universe. These two principles are dependent on each other. One is consuming and the other is consumed. So like that, they are dependent like that. And then from these two entities, these two things, which in fact are one. There is only one pair. In this, everything else is coming out. So let us see the bhashyam. Tasma evam prushtavate sahovacha.
Tasma evam prushtavate sahovacha.
Tad apakaranaya aha.
Tad apakaranaya aha.
Okay, tasma is tasmai. Tasmai means to him. Evam prushtavate. When to the gentleman who asked like that, sa means Pipalada, sa ha uvacha. The Pipalada said like that. What? Why? Shanka. Tad apakaranaya. Tad is that Shanka. There is a question, isn't it? Apakaranaya. Shankaya apakaranaya. So he has to remove his doubt. In order to remove his doubt, in order to clarify to him, he told like this. Prajakamaha prajaha atmanaha sisrukshurvai prajapatihi. Sisrukshurvai prajapatihi. Sarvatma san jagat srakshyami ityevam vijnanavan. Yatoktakari tadbhava bhavitaha कल्पादौ निर्वृत्तो हिरण्यगर्भः
कल्पादौ निर्वृत्तो हिरण्यगर्भः
सृज्यमानानां प्रजानां स्थावरजङ्गमानां पतिः सन्
विद्यमानानां प्रजानां स्थावरजङ्गमानां
प्रतिस्सन् जन्मान्तरभावितं ज्ञानं
जन्मान्तरभारतं ज्ञानं
श्रुतिप्रकाशितार्थविषयं
श्रुतिप्रकाशितार्थं
तपः अन्वालोचयद् अतप्यत
तपः अन्यालोचयत्
अतप्यत ओके सो प्रजाकामः desiring children prajaah literally means also means children prajaah means prajakamah in order to desiring to create people prajakamah means desirous of creating people prajaah atmanah sisrukshuh atmanah prajaah sisrukshuh sisruksha is srashtum icha desire to create sisrukshuh is a person who has that sisruksha desire to create. So this man with a desire to create, what did he do? Atmanah prajaah, create his own children, his own people. Prajapatihi sarvatma san. In what manner? He is the self of all. See, he is the self of all. Sarvatma san. Jagat srakshyami. So in this way, I will create the whole universe. The whole universe is my own self. This point also we have to see. This Prajapati is not somebody who is different, separate. Prajapati is the very self, the very same Atma of every being. There is only one Atma which is the self of every being. So that is point to be noted here. Jagas Rakshyami Ityevam Vijnanavan. Having known that, Yathoktakari means a person, of course, Yathoktakari Shankaracharya has not explained. Yathoktakari, Anandagiri says, Jnana Karma Samuchayakari Ityarthaha. It means this post called him, but this Prajapati is also something like an officiating post, a temporary post. Because I told you, there are cycles of creation. For each cycle of creation, there is one Hiranyagarbha. The next cycle of creation, there is another Hiranyagarbha, otherwise called Prajapati. So there are several types of Prajapatis. So this Prajapati, he had done Yathoktakari, he had earlier done this Upasana and Karma. And because of the result of that thing, he has attained this status called Prajapati. By virtue of that punyam, he has attained this status. Then Tadbhava Bhavitaha, that is filled by that idea or inspired by that idea. What idea? Idea of creating Prajaha. Inspired by that or filled by that particular thought of creating people. Then Kalpadau Nirvruttaha, Tadbhava Bhavitaha, Kalpadau Nirvruttaha. Whatever was, he became, or rather he evolved as Hiranyagarbha in that Kalpada. Hiranyagarbha, he became Hiranyagarbha in the beginning of this particular Kalpa. In the Purva Kalpa, he had done a lot of, Punyam, and he had done a lot of Karma and Upasana. Now he has evolved as a Hiranyagarbha. Then Srujyamananam Prajanam Sthavara Jangamanam Patissan. So he is the Pati, he is the Lord of all the beings. Srujyamananam Prajanam. All the Prajas are all the beings which are going to be created. Sthavara Jangamanam. That is all, Sthavara is non-moving, Jangama is moving. Sthavara is something like plants, trees, etc. Then Jangama are all the beings which move, mobile. Patis Son, he is the Lord of all. Then Janmantara Bhavitam Jnanam. Whatever is that Janmantara Bhavitam Jnanam, the Jnanam of his earlier time, earlier Kalpa, he is remembering that Jnanam of the earlier creation. You see, Prani, how are the beings created? There is another question here. How are the beings created? One fellow is created rich, one fellow is created poor. One fellow is created as a physically fit man, another fellow becomes lame. What is the reason? That is the karma, we say. So Prani Karma, whatever Prani Karma was there in the earlier Kalpa, depending on the Prani Karma of the earlier Kalpa, this man has created according to their Prani Karma Anugunena, that is in accordance with the karma of these Pranis. Janmantara Bhavitam Jnanam Shruti Prakashitartha Vishayam. Shruti Prakashitartha Vishayam means whatever has been told, whatever has been explained by the Shruti, Shruti Prakasha Artha Vishayam. Tapaha Anvalochayad Atapyata. Tapaha Anvalochanam means he thought about it, he deliberated it. That is what is called tapas. Atapyata. Atapyata means he deliberated on the whole thing. That means you visualize something called a Hiranyagarbha. It is a concept. And that creation goes on. How does that creation go on? Depending on the prani karma. So there is a prani karma which has been done in an earlier, creation, another earlier cycle of creation. Now in this new cycle, the same prani karma, the same pranis, they are going to be recreated according to the whatever karma they had done earlier. So this principle of karma is something which is very, very vital in our philosophy, in our system. The principle of karma, the concept of karma. That is, karma means you have done a particular ritual or a particular good or bad thing. There is a result for that karma. So the result of that karma also is called karma phala. Karma and karma phala, usually the same word karma is used to refer to karma phala also. So prani karma anusaram means prani karma phala anusaram, depending on the karma phala. So this concept of karma is something which is unique to our thought. In fact, not only to Indian system, but the whole of Eastern, world. If you, the whole of, Southeast Asian countries, China, Japan. So half of the humanity, let us say, half of the humanity believe in the concept of karma. That is, you do something and then you are going to get a result. And it is also the principle of justice. The principle of justice is, that is, you do a karma, and it is not as though you say, okay, I am believing in this God, and then suddenly all your sins are washed off. A person has to enjoy or suffer the fruit of his karma. God will help you to give some good brain, or rather good thoughts, good mind, let us say. God will help you in that manner to come out of those difficulties. But it is not as though all the sins are being taken away. So that is what we say. That is basically a principle of justice. A person has to, but in the Bhakti Sampradaya, they say a different thing. You see, Vedanta says, okay, a person has to enjoy or suffer the fruit of his karma. But in the Bhakti Sampradaya, when you come to Bhagavatam or books like that, the Bhakti Sampradaya, they say, okay, you come and worship Lord Krishna, all your sins are gone. So that is Bhakti Sampradaya. So like that, there is a slight shift in emphasis when you go from Vedic texts to Puranas. So tapaha anvalochayad atapyata. Atha tu saha evam tapastaptva tapastaptva shrautam jnanam anvalochya srushti sadhana bhutam mithunam utpadayate mithunam dvandvam utpaditavan rayincha somam annam pranam cha agnim attaram etau agnishomau atranna bhutau agnishomau agnishoma atranna bhutau. You split agnishomau atranna bhutau. Me mama bahudha anekadha praja karishyata ityevam sanchintya andotpatti kramena surya chandramasau akalpayat. Okay, then where are we? Athatu, then thereafter saha, that Prajapati, evam tapastaptva, having deliberated, having contemplated in this particular manner, shrautam jnanam anvalochya, whatever is mentioned in the Shrutis. So that jnanam, he deliberated on that particular jnanam, anvalochya, srushti sadhana bhutam mithunam utpadayate. This mithunam, this pair, which is the sadhanam, which is the only means for creation, srushti sadhana bhutam, which is the means for creating all the people. Then mithunam, dvandvam means that two in one, utpaditavan. So he created that. Then what is that dvandvam? Rayincha Somam annam. Rai is food, whatever is eaten. Then it is otherwise called Soma. Soma literally means Chandra. So Soma also refers to Chandra. Rai in Somam. Annam is also called Annam. Then these are the synonyms for this. Rai is the same as Soma, is the same as Annam. Rai is the same as Soma, is the same as Annam. It is also called Chandrama because the Soma or Chandrama is called Voshadhishaha. Chandra is called Voshadhishaha. Voshadhishaha means the Lord of the Voshadhis. It is believed, we do not know whether it is scientifically true or not, it is believed that the moon's rays, they give sustenance to all these crops we grow. All the crops, they grow because of course sun is there during the day. From sun they draw energy. And the moon is also there to influence the growth. That is what is said. We do not know whether it is scientifically true or not. So, but then that is how Soma is called Voshadhisha. Raireva Chandrama. Okay. Raincha Somam. Annam. Annam is something which is eaten. Then on the other hand, this is Pranam. Pranam cha Agnim Attaram. Prana, this vital force, is also called Agni. Agni is fire. If you want to consume something, you need fire, isn't it? Like a fire, it consumes. So that is how we also say we have got this Vaishwanara Agni in the stomach. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. This Vaishwanara Agni, that is this Agni which is there in the being, in all the beings in the world. Vaishwanara, that word also Shankaracharya is going to explain. Vaishwanara Agni. This Vishve, the whole universe, all the people are there. Anandagiri or somewhere, it explains. Okay, later. So, this Pranancha, Agnim Attaram. Pranam is the same as Agni, it is the same as Atta. Atta means eater. Annam is eaten. Atta, Adadhatu. Adadhatu, Annam is something which is eaten. Atta is the eater. Adadhatu. Attaram. Yetau Agni Shomau. And these two are Agni Shoma. Agnishtoma, there is what is called Agnishtoma Yaga. Agnishtoma Yaga is the same thing. One is the eater and one is the eaten. So, keeping that principle in mind, you are performing a yajna. Agnishtoma Yaga, it is said. So, this is Agni Shomau, the same thing. Atranna Bhutau, one is Atta, the other is Annam. Atranna Bhutau means one is Atta and the other is Annam. One is the eater and the other is eaten. Me, mama, for me, bahudha anekadha, in several ways, prajah karishyataha, these two things, they will produce lot many people in lot many ways. Ityevam sanchintya, in this manner having thought, andotpatti kramena. Andotpatti kramena means, I have to explain this a little bit. Andotpatti, which has to come first, I have to explain. So this particular line we will take up in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti